I got you, Alex. Well, Alex, it's really, really bumpy. Going into one here, you gotta be on the brakes very, very carefully so you don't spin out. And just come as close to the grass as possible there and accelerate hard. And then if you have somebody like Jason Warren on your inside, you just pinch him down real tight. And don't accelerate too hard off or you'll do something like that. Definitely a dozer don't. Now let's restart that lap real quick and see if we can get one more in before the warm-up is over here. All right, well, as we come out of the pits, very squirrely. As dozer is up there on the top corner of the wall. So coming out of 4 here, you got to be real precise. And like I said last time, easy on the brakes and try to not slide all the way up the track. Touch that grass slightly and then get bumped by Oswald. Yes, so going into 1, you have a lot more speed than going up into 3. So I feel like going up to 3, you can send it just a little bit harder. But that's my lap around North Wilkesboro. Thanks, Alex.
Hey, now my headset bar's moving. Windows did an update and screwed everything up, so apparently you guys haven't heard me say a word since the start of the broadcast. Alrighty, since y'all didn't hear it the first time, let's kick the tires and light the fires. We're green flag racing. Rube with a great jump. Jason Warren looking to pull down in front of Oswald. Not there yet. Cleared him into 3 and 4. Kieran Church hanging tough on the high side of Matt Knight. He's trying to drive around on the big end, going to cut down, clear the spot. Watridge and Ray Page locked in a heated battle. Watridge's going to get the better of him, move into the 7th spot. Ray Page in the 8th. John Bennett, William Griffith, Tyler Rice round out your field back here. 13 down. Rick Rube is setting a pretty good pace. Almost a 10th faster that time around than Mr. Warren. He's Rick stretched out almost a second. Rick has done this a couple times, set sail and had the fastest car on the track and has come up short on fuel, but I have been assured by multiple people that there is enough fuel in the 81 car to make it to the end. Go ahead and get that broadcaster's curse out there now. Looking for some action on the track, but it's few and far between. Kieran and Church on the back bumper of Josh Oswald. Complete, running 1750s. Rick Rube with a 1725. Jason Ward with 1753 that time. Rick is got a missile underneath him tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Complete. Watridge and Phelps about to lock into a battle here for the 6th spot. Watridge come around, then Phelps at the stripe. It says they are about the same. Really a matter of getting a run down off the corner, down the straightaway, and establishing dominance to take the line here to get a pass. Ray Page, Tyler Rice, John Bennett here with all within 3/10 of each other. Ray Page with the familiar upside down mountains. on that big frame machine. Gets a little bit of that curve there down in turn 4. Drives it in deep, lets it set sideways. That's going to give a bit of a gap between him and Bennett. We check back in up front. It is nothing but Rick Rude in that 81 Pennzoil machine. .27 complete. Coming to 28. Jason Warren has almost just a little over a full second over Kieran. Kieran has almost a half a second over Oswald. 90s there in 4th. Almost a half a second off the back of Oswald. Feltz and Wattridge about a car length between the two of them. Chuck is there on 90s. Taking a peek, not gonna pull the trigger on it just yet. Pretty tame racing here. Not much to report. Ray Page gonna show a nose there on John Bennett. Did not get the drive in, but Bennett moved to the high side. Shows it again. Not quite able to get there. Bennett able to arc it in, get a really good run off the corner. Ray Page having to pinch it down to get that entry, get underneath him, which is killing momentum off. Check back in up here. As Josh Oswald has closed the gap on Kieran Church. And Kieran has closed the gap on Jason Warren. But the gap that has not closed is the gap to from Warren to Rube, as it has extended to over 2 seconds. Let's hop in this 81 machine. Very calm, cool, and collected inside the cockpit of that 81. Not really pushing the issues, just logging laps, cooking them off one by one, hoping it stays green. .40 complete of the 125. Some action on the track, and it's few and far between. Everyone's pretty well spread out and not a lot happening. Ray Page still looking to get around the 08. This might be the pass for the position. He's at his door. Bennett gets the run off the bottom. Or off the top, gets around. Ray Page back to square one. Tyler Rice just kind of sitting there waiting, hanging out. I mean, I don't know if I was Tyler Rice and I didn't have my fast repair, I wouldn't be hanging out too close to this battle as they are slicing and dicing and not a whole lot of room to correct in the case of an emergency. But at the same time, 46 down, you kind of got to be looking at making a move, getting back towards the front. Oh, contact between the 41 and the 6. We'll take it back up front. Rick Rude still your leader. Gap has shrunk by a couple tenths, nothing crazy. Still right in that 2-second mark over second place Jason Warren. Last time we were up here, that gap had closed to within a second. It is now back to 1.3 between him and the third place driver of Kiernan Church. Josh Oswald running in that 4th spot. Matt Knighty's up to 5th. Chuck Feltz in 6th. Jason Lotcher's running in the 7th spot. William Griffith back there in the 9th spot. Bennett in the 9th, or Griffith in the 8th. Bennett in the 9th. Ray Page, Tyler Rice rounding out your field in 10th and 11th. Still not much to report on. These guys nose and tail, not much passing going on. We're coming up on the halfway point of the race. back up front. Rick Rube out to almost 2.5 seconds. Just absolutely setting sail tonight. Kieran and Church closed the gap to within half a second here, as we are now halfway in the race. Cross sticks from Barney. The gap from Kiernan to Oswald is stretched to almost 3 seconds. Still a hornet's nest back here for the fourth spot. 4th through 7th, really throw a tarp over him. William Griffith 4 back. John Bennett has stretched his gap over Tyler Rice and Ray Page. Tyler Rice having a tough time regrouping after that caution. Ray Page having a tough time driving the car, driving it like it's got dirt on the racing surface. Page with that big freak 41 machine. Rick Rube closing in on lapping Ray Page here. 69 down of the scheduled 125. Here we go. We got Chuck Phelps looking to make a move on Matt Knight as well. Jason Wattridge is trying to pounce as well. Race brewing here with just over 50 to go. Phelps getting a little close to the wall there, drifting up the track. Carrying momentum on the high side, driving away from Mr. Lockridge. It's a bold strategy, but let's see how it pays out. Matt Knight is closing in on Josh Oswald. Went from having Chuck Phelps looking to make a pass to putting almost a second on Phelps. Tyler Rice closing in on Griffith. Griffith looks like he may be struggling or dropping back because John Bennett's gotten around him, John Bennett's gotten around him. Tyler Rice has made a move on not Josh Oswald, on William Griffith. Just under 50 to go. Looks like Griffith is on the struggle bus. I saw those white gloves really cranking that wheel. A lot of off-throttle time there. That is an ill-handling race car. Ill-handling race car on a very tough track. Ray Page falling even further behind as Josh Oswald and Matt Knighty's lap him. '82 complete. It is Rick Rube over Kiernan Church. Kiernan Church thinks he made that pass at lap 66. Let's take a quick peek back at it. Oh, Jason Warren tags the wall there. Easy work for Mr. Church. Jason Warren back to the third spot. Josh Oswald into fourth. Matt Knighty's fifth. Chuck Phelps sixth. Jason Warren seventh. John Bennett up to eighth. Tyler Rice ninth. William Griffith in the 10th spot. Ray Page dropped back to the 11th and final spot. The only two cars that are remotely close to each other is Josh Oswald and Matt Knighty's. And they're almost a second apart. Same thing with Phelps and Knighty's. They're almost a second apart. So, not a whole lot of racing action here. Rick Rube lapping the 12 car. With almost a 3-second gap over Kieran Church. I wish I could talk about something, but there's not a whole lot going on to talk about. Kieran Church up 6 spots from where he started. Chuck Phelps up 4. Everybody else is up 2. And 1 spot from their respective starting position. Bit of a bigger track than the last few. I guess Nashville Fairgrounds is a half mile south Boston. Oh, we got John Bennett around. Finally, something happened. Oh, Jason Wattridge tags the back of Ray Page. John Bennett finds the wall. Gets a good drive in on the bottom. Not sure if he checked up or what, but Wattridge goes spinning and collects Mr. Bennett. Gonna rack him and stack him. Got 30 laps to go. Couldn't write a better story. Almost 90 green flag laps, and then rack him up for a 30-lap dash. Rube's gonna lead him this time off, or lead him off. Kieran Church in the second spot. Jason Warren sitting third. Should be going green with pretty close to 25 to go. I might have to load up some commercials or something to show y'all. Pull Fox Sports and go away from the racing action to show you a commercial for 15 laps. It's not like there would have been anything going on anyways. But we're going to have some action now as we got them all bunched back together. .98 complete. Pace car's off. We're going to send McGreen one more time. Rube with a fantastic jump. Warren on the bottom. Pinches up tight on Oswald. Going to slide back to the fourth spot. Kieran and Church all over the back bumper of that 81 machine. Chuck Feltz up top. Jason Wattridge up top. Chuck Feltz trying to drive around. 90's on the big end. Has the run off the corner. 90's blinking a little bit there. Feltz going to clear him and takes full possession of that fifth spot. Jason Warren slid back to fourth, looking to make his way back up towards that front. As it sits, Rube, Church, Oswald, your top three. Warren waiting in the wings in the fourth spot. 25 to go. Church has a little bit in the tank. Rick Rube still looks like he may be on cruise control. Still running pretty close to his best lap. His best lap 17:21 that time around. 17:30 out of Church as well. Within a tenth of his best lap. Same with Church. Not much tire fall off tonight. Rube really not having to challenge anybody for a position to tear him up. Kieran and Church makes a dive down to the bottom. Not able to make it stick. Seeing that 22 machine wiggling. They're on exit. Check in here for the battle for the third spot. Looks like it's the same story as the one in front of him. Josh Oswald in damage control, kind of cruising. Jason Warren looking to find a way around. That car's wiggling and bouncing. 20 to go. Rube still leading. Check in back where we were. 90's in 6th. Jason Watch for 7th. Tyler Rice hot on his heels in 8th. Griffith in the 9th spot. John Bennett, the last car on the lead lap. Last car running. Ray Page looks like he may have gone for a ride and parked it before the caution come out. Slip and slide on the grass, and that's enough for him tonight. Go back up front. It is Rube by almost half a second, and then Kieran Church almost a second over Oswald. 16 to go. Jason Warren rolling 4th. Kevin Kinder says stand on Oswald. They've really been wheeling these things tonight. Jason Warren dancing that thing sideways, giving her the beans. 15 to go. Rube still leading it. Rube should have enough fuel to make it to the end here. Coming down to the nitty gritty. 14 to go. Not much effort being put in by the 81. Seems to be out for a cruise. Lap times are starting to fall off now. Last time around, a 17:39. Kieran Church with a 44. Oswald with a 51. And we have a yellow. Tyler Rice, John Bennett, William Griffith involved. Let's see what happened here. Tyler Rice gets it to rotate, wiggles, loses it, saves it. Let's see where Bennett and Griffith are involved. And they're not. Looks like Tyler Rice may have been the proprietor of that caution. You know what they say, cautions breed cautions. It's not exactly something Rick Rue probably wanted to see. He had finally got out and set a pretty big gap. Gonna re-rack him, restack him for one more attempt. Gonna be going green with just inside 10 to go here at the fabled North Wilkesboro Speedway. Gonna be home to a truck race here in the early summer, as well as the NASCAR Cup Series All-Star Race. They've added safer barriers. They've redone all the bleachers, redoing some of the press boxes and luxury suites, putting grandstands all the way around it. They have preserved the big Winston Cup Series mural on the back of the building. That is a historical landmark and cannot be touched up, cannot be anything. It is forever preserved and protected. So a big win for the nostalgic fans of a bygone era. We got a win in that one. I believe the infield's all been repaved. They're putting up a new Tyson's scoring pylon, a new scoreboard as well. All thanks to the success of the short track revival there in August. They're not repaving the racetrack. They were pleased with the results they got from that month of racing, and they're going to leave it alone. So a nice, aged and weathered racing surface, no different than the racing surface you see here on iRacing that was laser scanned a few years prior. Alrighty, lights are on the pace car. Lights are off on the pace car, and we'll be sending that pace car back to the infield here momentarily. Going to go back to green flag. Alrighty, pace car's off. It's in the hands of the 81. Gets a huge jump over the 22. 22 gets the drive in. Looking to fend off an attack from the 17. Gonna walk it down. Jason Warren on the outside of Oswald. Oswald hanging tough on the bottom, trying to keep Warren behind him. Slides up, gets it done. Warren looking to make a counteroffensive with just 6 to go. It is go time for these guys. They are lined up, nose to tail. Rube's still leading them. We got a handful in the air from Barney. Kieran Church has that thing stepped out sideways like he is racing on dirt. Josh Oswald trying to show nose underneath the double deuce coupe. Not quite able to get there. Jason Warren applying pressure from behind. He's got Kiernan up top on the ropes. Kiernan going to drive around on the big end and keep Oswald at bay for now. 4 to go. While all this goes on, Rick Rube sets sail. Yet again, clearly the fastest car on the track. Rick Rube ran his fastest lap of the race there, a 17:18. That is fastest of the race. Kieran Church busts off a 17:22. That is his best, ties his best. 3 to go. 2 to go. Popsicle sticks in the air for the 81 machine. Has about 7/10 of a second gap into 3 and 4. He goes to take the white flag. There it is. White flag is in the air. Next one ends at checkers or wreckers. I don't think we have anyone close enough for the wreckers. Rick Rube into 3 and 4 for the final time. He finally does it. Finally has enough gas to make it to the end. Rick Rube takes the feature win here. The racetrack Revival 125. Kieran Church going to bring it home in second. Josh Oswald third. Boy, wasn't a lot to talk about from laps 5 to 95, but it turned around there once we got a couple cautions, got these guys racked back up. Great drive out of the 81 machine. We'll pull up your feature results while we celebrate. Rick Rube, your winner. Kieran Church in the double deuce coupe coming in second. Josh Oswald third. Jason Warren fourth. Chuck Phelps rounding out your top 5. Matt Knighty's in 6th. Tyler Rice makes his way back up to 7th. Jason Watchers 8th. John Bennett 9th. William Griffith retiring 13 laps down. Ray Page 20 down. Alrighty, looks like we should have everybody in Discord. We'll go ahead and grab 3rd place, Josh Oswald. Hey Josh, it's Alex up here in the Rebels booth. You get a copy?
Hey man, I got you.
Yeah. Well, there wasn't a whole lot of excitement there. Everything kind of got spread out. So there towards the end, we got a couple cautions. Go ahead and take us through your race.
Oh, I missed the setup bad. From about lap 25 on, the thing was just wrecking loose. Moved my brake bias as much as I could, and then just had to hang on. Almost lost it once when Kieran got by me, and then just had to be real ginger on that throttle pedal. But luckily, it stuck when I made the move on the outside for 3rd, and on the following restart, I was able to stick enough to keep Warren behind me. He was struggling towards the end too, so, but, it was rough, but, congratulations to Rick. He's been close to many times, running out of fuel because Jason doesn't give him a proper setup with enough fuel, so I'm glad Rick finally got one.
Yeah, finally got one. Actually, honestly, it looked like Rick was the only one who hit the mark with the setup, as he was absolutely lights out tonight. So, good drive for him. Next week, we head to the Bull Ring, my favorite track on iRacing. How you feeling about your chances there?
I picked up on your sarcasm, but yeah, no, it's a fun track. I really like the Bull Ring. It's going to be challenge to keep it from getting too tight. Tires getting overheated. Outside restarts are kind of death there, but should be a good run.
Yeah, I don't know what you're talking about. I really like the bull ring. It look a lot better with like a casino on top of it.
Yeah, there's enough of them in Vegas.
Friends, family, sponsor. I think before we get out of here.
Thank you for doing the broadcast. Thunderstruck Super Series, Velocity Motorsports, Superior Performance Motorsports, Big Frig Coolers, and just friends and family that watch and cheer me on from home.
Alrighty, that is your third place finisher, Josh Oswald. Alrighty, let's go ahead and grab Kieran Church. This is Alex up here in the booth. You got a copy?
I gotcha.
I believe, yeah, up 6 spots from where you started tonight. Looks like you had a pretty solid piece with you there tonight in the old double juice coupe. Go ahead and take us through your race.
Yeah, it was one of those things I screwed up in qualifying both my laps, so I was already in the hole. I was just kind of riding, saving my tires for most of that race, and I knew Rick was out a little bit too far if I didn't get a caution, but I didn't want to burn my tires up trying to catch him and then get a caution and then be screwed with everybody behind me. So I just kept patience and just did that. But then I got behind him, and he was really good in 3 and 4, and sometimes I would be better to about even in 1 and 2, and I just couldn't do anything with him. I tried to pressure him into a mistake, and I screwed myself on that last one and clipped the grass on exit, and I was never able to come back from there.
Yeah, the 81 had a pretty solid piece tonight. Next week we head to the bull ring. How do you feel about your chances there?
I really like the bull ring, so let's hopefully I can do good there.
It's a small track, elbows up racing. Should be some great action. Got any friends, family, sponsors, I think, before we get out of here?
Got to think of Velocity Motorsports, Jet Designs, SPM, you doing the broadcast, and everybody here at Thunderstruck. It's fun time doing these.
Alrighty, best of luck to you next week. Hope we get a chance to talk to you then.
All right, thanks.
Alrighty, let's go ahead and grab the man of the hour, Rick Rube. This is Alex up here in the Rebels booth. You got a copy?
I do, Alex.
How much fuel did you finish that race with? That's the important question.
Let me tell you, I had plenty. I put enough in and 2 gallons extra. I wasn't taking any chances this week.
Put enough in to run 250 laps.
I did. I had a lot in there. I've done that like 4 times this year, so in different series. But after that last one in the modifieds, we were taking no more chances.
Sometimes you got to make the mistake a couple times to learn from it.
Yeah. I think that night I had just a titch more gear in it than we were supposed to have when they calculated my fuel load. So, I screwed that up.
Well, other than that, tonight I had an absolute missile. The fastest lap of the race there after that last caution, and was really the class of the field. Ran away from everybody every single restart. Go ahead and take us through your race.
Well, really, I mean, I paced myself early. You got to keep the right rear on these things. That's what wears out. Most of these cars on iRacing, you got to watch the right front, but not this one. It's the right rear. And so I was babying it. And to be honest, at the end of the race, it was still in pretty bad shape. But obviously, in the middle of the race, I didn't have a whole lot of competition, I guess I'll say. Nobody pushing me, you know what I mean? But at the end, Kiernan was giving me more than I wanted. And I had to push that right rear a little harder than I cared to. But she held up. It was better after that last restart. I kind of cooled it down under the yellow and managed to get away from him. But he was fast at the end. I thought that might have been the end of me.
Yeah, he was. He said he was trying to pressure you into a mistake, but in doing so, it actually pushed you to run 17:18, which was by 200s faster than anybody had ever ran tonight. So fantastic run there out of that 81 Pennzoil machine. Next week we head to the bull ring. How do you feel about your chances there?
Well, to me, the bull ring is similar to Vegas, so I should be good there. But hey, you can't predict these things, so I'm not going to say nothing. I don't want to incite the competition any.
Don't want to set the bar too high for yourself.
That too, right?
Alrighty, before
I
we
mean,
get out
this is the first win, so I don't want to sit here and act like I'm going to do this every week. I'm
all right, you got any friends, family, sponsors I think before we get out of here?
Well, I really have to thank SPM, of course, and Daniel Pope. I mean, Daniel's done a lot to help all of us out, but he's helped me out a lot, and probably got me to where I am now. Revelry Racing, teammates there, and this league for having these races. These guys do a great job. All these, every night that they run, all the different series, I try to run as many of them as I possibly can because it's a great group of guys. It really is. And then you guys for broadcasting, we appreciate that.
Alrighty, hopefully get a chance to talk to you next week.
Yeah, I hope so.
Alrighty, well that's all we got for you tonight. Not a whole lot happened in the 11-car field. Smaller field yet again. But got some tight racing coming up to round out the last 4 races of the season. The Bullring, Martinsville, Hickory, and Langley Speedway. Just make sure you run more than 20 laps on your tires at Hickory or you cannot run the second feature. If it was said in a driver's meeting 10 years ago, but you weren't there to hear it, it's still a rule in their book. So that's enough ranting and raving. If you're into if you're into racing, you'll understand what that reference was about. But as always, as a wise man once said, Seacrest out.